outlaws and killers of innocents. They have become outlaws and murderers themselves. And they will take that lonely path at their own peril.
Imus in the morning.
Every retailer says they want...
Is it a skunk? A thief? A common gutter crawling child toucher? No, it's all three. It's Sid. Hey, baby, my fly's open. Rosenberg.
12 minutes till the hour here in the Imus Morning program. Sid indeed is here. Sid says there's nothing I don't know about March Madness, about the basketball thing. So I said, okay. He's screaming about Cincinnati being seeded first in the West. Thought it should have been Oklahoma because Oklahoma did defeat Kansas. So then I said, well, how about Gonzaga, seeded sixth? And he said, yeah, they got hosed. They should have been seeded third or fourth or something. He said, then they'll have to play. And then he had the team that they're either going to play. They're going to play the winner of Arizona, UC Santa Barbara. But Sid did not know that. He had him playing somebody else.
I had him playing the winner of Ohio State Davidson for a second there. Yes, I did. But they are going to play Arizona in the second round.
Well, yeah, but the point is, you had just said there's nothing I don't know about March Madness.
There's nothing I don't know about March Madness. And then the first thing I asked you didn't know.
This was
question number one
very
was wrong.
common error.
We will go.
Yeah.
We will go to the authority on March Madness.
Who's that?
As we have done for the past 12 years.
And who would that be?
And that would be Mike, the sports Dr. Francesa.
Stop, yeah.
So.
It's been good the last couple of years, his Final Four picks.
What? That's not the... See, here's the thing about...
Providence, that was a good one.
No.
What's that?
No. Mike has guts. Mike
has guts?
Yes. Mike will not pick 4 number 1 seeds as you will.
No, I won't. Not at all.
Give me your Final Four.
I'll take the 4 number 1 seeds.
So that's my point.
No. I just said that. I mean, I haven't really looked at the brackets closely enough.
But you haven't looked at the brackets. They've been out for 24 hours.
I'll tell you
hours.
this. I'll tell you that Duke is going to win the national championship.
No, they're not.
Absolutely, yes.
No.
Duke will win the national championship.
Well, okay.
Well, who do you like?
I like Kansas.
But Kansas just lost to Oklahoma in the Big 12 championship yesterday.
They were looking past Kansas.
Is that what it was?
I don't think Roy had them focused.
But Roy never does.
Roy has got to win this year.
I totally agree.
I heard Mad Dog say that.
Well,
in fact, I heard Mad Dog put Roy on notice.
Well, he's right.
Almost he had better win.
In fact, I was listening to Mad Dog and Fats on Fruit Loops, and Fruit Loops said that he's got to win. You got to win. Got to win.
Got to win.
We're tired of hearing this.
Well, every single year he's got one of the best squads in the country, and they always do nothing.
Come on, Roy.
Let's go.
Get it done.
They're in the Midwest, by the way, Iman, which is one of the easier brackets. There's no excuses for Kansas this year.
Yeah.
The West is by far the most difficult region. It's not even close.
Mm-hmm.
Six of the top 7 seeds out West all won their conference tournaments.
Yeah,
Think about that.
Yeah, but the conference tournaments were chump tournaments.
Yeah, but because of the conference tournaments,
Well.
your school, Connecticut, is a number 2 seed in this tournament.
It's not my school.
No?
No.
But you live in Connecticut.
No, I don't. I live in Manhattan. Who lives in Connecticut?
You have a place, a residence in Connecticut. Isn't that true?
Yeah, I don't live there.
Well, I mean, you stay there.
Not a principal
Not the
residence.
taxes I pay. I live in Manhattan. I begged the Andrews brothers for 15 years. I said, let's pull that scam where I say I spent 180 nights in Connecticut. And they said, you don't spend 180 nights in Connecticut. I said, well, can't we say? I said, no, you can't. Pay your taxes and shut up.
Here's what I'm hoping from the I-Man.
What?
The West region, you're talking about Gonzaga. I know you love Gonzaga. They open up...
No, I don't love Gonzaga.
Well, you're rooting for Gonzaga, aren't you?
No, I'm not. I don't care what they do.
Really?
No.
But they're starting off their action in New Mexico and Albuquerque.
Great.
Well, you're going to be out there at the ranch. You should stop by and watch some of these games.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Why not?
Well, shut up.
Good Lord.
Is there anybody else you like in this tournament outside of Kansas?
I like Arizona.
Why don't you do
what
you've done so many times this year, including picking the Super Bowl winner before the whole hype even started, and give us right now, you're saying Kansas is going to win this tournament?
Yeah.
Okay, I've got Duke.
Well,
Kansas, by the way, will play Stanford in the second round.
let me tell you who's going to come out of the West.
Okay, who's coming out of the West?
Oklahoma.
Let me see who's playing first.
Oklahoma?
Yep.
Okay, well, that's...
Oklahoma would be one of my final 4 teams.
Well, they could be.
Yeah.
They should be one of the top seeds as it is.
Let me tell you who's coming out of the South.
Who's coming out of the South?
Duke is coming out of the South. Oh, why, man? Come on.
No.
Who do you have coming out of the South?
I have... That's a pretty weak deal, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, who are you going to pick here? You're not going to pick Alabama. You're not going to pick Pittsburgh.
No.
You don't even know if Brendan Knight's going to play.
All right, Duke.
You got Duke?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, out of the East now, I've got...
What do you got?
Well, I like Maryland. I like...
Maryland lost, don't forget, now to NC
I know
State.
that. Yeah.
Still a real good team, though. St. John's, by the way, plays in the East. They're taking on Wisconsin.
They suck.
Yeah.
I like... I hated to see Texas Tech lose to Kansas by 40 points. That was pretty, wasn't it?
That was about as ugly as a Bobby Knight movie was last night.
I called the lady from DirecTV. I said I can't order this Texas Tech Kansas game. She said, well, your phone line's not hooked up to your satellite. I said, yes, it is, because I can order fights, I can order movies, all that sort of thing.
Right.
She said, well, let's run the test. I said, okay. So we ran a test, and she said, well, I don't show it as being hooked up. By the way, after I waited a half an hour for him to come on the line.
Yeah.
So then I said, let me ask you something. I said, do you have any interest in the Kansas-Texas Tech game? And she said, pardon me? I said, you're there at DirecTV, don't you have all these monitors and everything?
Sure.
And she explained to me that no, they didn't, that they were just a phone service.
Right.
But they do have the ability to check your computer deal.
Of course they do.
I said, let me ask you this. Would you be willing to watch the Texas Tech Kansas game, and I'll give you my phone number,
Yeah.
and call me and let me know. I said, because sometimes the bottom line deal on ESPN, they don't stay up to speed. They're not as good as they should be.
Right.
And she was very nice, but she said that she was going to be busy, and she didn't think she could do that.
So she didn't call you back after all that?
Well, she said she couldn't.
She couldn't, huh?
She apologized. She was very nice of it. They're very nice people. The direct.
So wait a second. So you actually plug your thing in and you actually pay for your events? You don't have one of those zap cards where they zap your card for like $150 and you get everything for free the rest of the year?
Well, I don't know what I have.
Well, you know what you do is you get the card. I know a guy, and he'll zap the card for you.
Right.
And then it's a one-time fee. And then you get every sporting event and every movie and everything for the rest of the year. You don't have to worry about paying for each event every single time it happens.
Well, you're supposed to pay DirecTV.
Yeah, but you don't have to pay DirecTV if you get the card zapped. That's what I'm trying to help you out here, man.
Who zaps the card?
Well, I can't tell you that.
Well, that's dishonest.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute, illegal.
It's dishonest.
But stealing the...
Is this a sneak into the theater deal?
It's stealing.
zap card?
All I'm saying is this. You
It's
take
stealing.
you take the card out of the box,
Yeah.
and you zap the card, and then from here on in, you don't pay every single time you get a movie or every single time you get a basketball game. You pay a one-time fee. I get the card zap, boy. You're done for the year. You pay $199. You watch everything you want. You got Spice Channel for the porn. You got basketball. You got football. You got movies. Whatever you want, you pay a one-time fee.
Like an illegal cable box.
Yeah. That's supposed to.
So it's a theft of services thing again, is what you're saying.
I'm not. No. It's.
Oh, no. I know that's
exactly
not what you're saying,
I'm
but
saying
that's what it is.
I don't
right?
think the I-Man should have to pay every single time he wants to watch a certain event.
Why? I don't mind.
Yeah, but that's not the way you're supposed to do it. I mean, the way you're supposed to do it is you get the card zapped one time, boom, zapped, and then you don't pay the rest of the year for anything. I watch whatever I want. You see what I'm saying? You don't have to worry about keeping
Oh,
the
no,
phone.
no. Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Oh, my God. and
You
you're-
are just...
Well, there'll be people at there'll be people at your door this afternoon.
I don't understand. I thought everybody had a zap card. People actually call DirecTV for like specific events to buy it.
Nice knowing
You'll
you.
be back
Nice
on Court
knowing you.
TV explaining
See
that.
you later.
Imus in the morning.
Oh, my God.
The best I ever had.
What's the best reason to buy a new Nissan in March? Is it that the Nissan Sentra was named best?
I see keys. They should be embarrassed by that. And, of course, Rick Sanchez, people like that, Ashley Banfield. I mean, they're embarrassing. You probably didn't know that, and they certainly didn't know this in that bogus report they did on the NewsHour with Jim Lehrer, which is disgraceful, with Terrence Smith, who's a fraud, that the Imus in the Morning program on MSNBC actually occasionally beats CNN with all that promotion they're doing with what's her name over there. And even is, in fact, more competitive with Fox than is widely believed or even reported. And it's a simulcast of a radio program. We're not doing a TV. I mean, look at the camera. Even though the camera, I mean, I know the camera's over here somewhere, but I mean, it's unbelievable. And what do you think they're thinking about at MSNBC? I mean, they pay us an enormous amount of money to carry the show. I mean, it's idiotic. The news is better here than it is on almost... I mean, Brian Williams does a decent newscast. But, I mean, you can't explain it. It's insanity, isn't it?
It doesn't add up. It really doesn't. No.
What's going out there in Hollywood? Here's Christy Musumeci with a scum report.
Oh, I'm in. O.J. Simpson stumped to a new low. The FBI has new evidence linking him to an ecstasy deal. Federal agents released tapes of two convicted ecstasy dealers talking about Simpson, saying they're going to bring drugs to his Kendall, Florida home. He certainly does not have the dream team representing him this time. Here's his attorney, Yale Gallanter, denying O.J. has any involvement.
People love to talk about Mr. Simpson. You know, I could use a word that starts with B and ends in T. It's right that you can't air, but people just love to do that about celebrity.
What was he talking? I think you meant bitch. Anyway, the tapes apparently have these two dealers saying that they're going right over to O.J.'s house, so in some hot water there. And O.J. isn't the only one who's got some tape to worry about. Winona Ryder, star attraction in a new film being aired on Extra tonight, looking like a bag lady. Winona was caught on security camera tape at a Beverly Hills Saks Fifth Avenue carrying a bundle of clothes just before she was read her rights. The footage shows her trying on hats, putting on lipstick, being helped by clerks, and then the store security coming over and, cuffing her. She's accused of cutting security tags off of items and stealing $5,000 worth of merchandise.
Come on.
I think we need to fix her and sit up, I'm telling you.
Winona, come on, baby.
Come on, honey. What's going on there? And Britney Spears and Justin...
That girl's off the hook.
Totally.
That bitch is whack.
She's like, I didn't do it. What? Just because there's a tape showing her, stealing all these items.
Not a problem.
Right.
No.
I can explain that. So Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake possibly is still an item, or aren't they? Here's what the blonde sex kitten told MTV Europe.
No, that's not true. Me and Justin did not split up.
But the New York Post man says that they have broken up. They had spies that spotted Justin bumping into Grandin with a dark-haired beauty in Hollywood while Britney was in Italy. So the controversy continues. And
what you gonna do?
What you gonna do? Speaking of couples calling it quits, as we've been talking about all morning, Jack is gonna have to do without his Jane. Mrs. Welch filing for divorce after the embarrassing Susie wet me up during an interview affair. After 13 years of being married to the business tycoon, old Jane hired a lawyer to arrange the financial details, and next come the divorce papers.
Wasn't me. Picture this. Caught me banging on the bathroom floor. Wasn't me.
Wasn't me.
24 after the hour. Here on the Imus in the Morning program, Tom Friedman is coming up.
Hey now, hey now, hey now, hey now, it's finger popping time. Finger popping, popping time. I feel so good, and that's a real good sign. Here comes Mary, here comes Sue, here comes Johnny, and Imus in the morning.
This isn't your...
Oh, well, okay. Yep. Why don't you spend more time bashing that worthless moron Abrams and less time on Banfield? Neither have any talent, but at least she's easier on the eyes.
Please.
Will you be sniffing Tom Friedman's panties again this morning? Well, probably. Fair enough, in the New York Times. Won 2 Pulitzer Prizes, I believe. The aforementioned Tom Friedman. Good morning, Mr. Friedman.
Hey, Don, how are you?
So you don't get interviewed that way on Washington.
In the left lane. This report's brought to you by the New York Times. Looking for a job in the tri-state area? From healthcare to finance, put yourself in a better position with the New York Times job market in Sunday's paper and online every day at nytimes.com. I'm Lori McNichol for the Fan Highway Patrol.
Imus in the morning, 2020 sports.
That's for the Wolfman.
With the great Warner Wolf.
Don't dig in till the day you die.
It's all according to how your boogaloo situation stands, you understand? Have mercy.
Good morning, Warner.
Good morning, I-Man. Imus in the Morning Sports Report brought to you by Lufthansa. Lufthansa flies to more than 100 European destinations. See your travel agent. Say so long to Yankee outfielder Ruben Rivera. Rivera has admitted to stealing Derek Jeter's glove and bat from the Yankees locker room.
What?
As a result, the Yankees have released the reacquired Rivera, who loses most of his $1 million salary.
Why y'all dress up today, Warner?
Oh, at the National Museum of History.
Yeah.
They have the American Museum of Natural History. Almost every Hall of Fame baseball player around. I mean, the old guys, Stan Musial, Warren Spahn, Ernie Banks.
They're not all going to be there, though, right?
Yeah, most of them will be there, yeah.
Mickey Mantle won't be there.
No.
Joe DiMaggio won't be there.
No,
Jackie Robinson will be there.
No, they have their own deal.
No, but I mean, I'm just saying.
right.
You said
No.
all of them. They're not all going to be there because you screwed it up when everybody's saying almost all.
That's right.
We rehearsed
Oh,
this.
that's right. All of them will be there, Ivan. Every Hall of Famer will be there.
Jerk.
Every one.
Never mind.
Every Hall of Famer you've
Too
ever
late
thought
now.
of. All your favorite Hall of Famers. Oh, man. Brooks Robinson, Duke Snyder, they'll all be there, Ivan. Yeah. Speed up the game. That's what baseball is saying now. No more messing around on the pitching mound or the batter's box. In an effort to speed up the game, once a batter steps into the box and is set, the pitcher must throw the ball within 12 seconds.
Oh, come on.
That's what they're saying. If he doesn't, then it's a ball.
We don't need that.
And the third base umpire will have a stopwatch in his pocket.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. And then if the pitcher begins, how many times have you seen this? Pitcher winds up and the batter steps out of the box. No more.
It's illegal.
That's what they're saying. Now, if the pitcher winds up and the batter steps out, it's a strike.
Yeah.
That's good.
Good. Yeah.
Good.
Moving
Yeah,
along.
about
Moving
time.
on.
There you
Yes.
go.
Well, let's see if they
God.
enforce it. That's the deal. And something is wrong with this Ricky Williams deal to the Dolphins,
Yeah.
because included in the deal, in next year's Dolphins third-round pick going to the Saints, it would escalate to a number 1 pick if Williams gains 1,500 yards or more this year.
Yeah.
All right, so let's say it's the last game of the year. The Dolphins have clinched the division. They've clinched home field advantage, and Ricky Williams has 1,499 yards. Well, they're not going to give him the ball. Why would they give him the ball and lose the number 1 pick? They have nothing to gain. So you can't have these incentive trades based on what if,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Well, that is right.
What you said.
What you
Absolutely.
said. You're off the hook.
And I'm going every Hall of Famer.
Whack, baby. Really.
Every Hall of Famer, all the players
just
you've
get out
loved.
of my life.
Juan Marichal.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies.
DirecTV around the country, I'm not sure what channel, but if you don't get DirecTV and you want to see Fatso and Fruit Loops in action, why, I'd suggest you get DirecTV anyway, because there's all kinds of neat stuff on it. But then around the country you can see them, and I don't know how you sign up for the Yes thing here, but it's some crooked deal run by a bunch of gangsters. But nevertheless, you'll be able to see Mike and Chris, and it's the best sports talk show in the country, period. So, anyway, here's one half of it. It's not really a half of it, but like a third. Mad Dog, Christopher Mad Dog Russo. Good morning, Mr. Russo.
Well, Don, after that flowery introduction, did you have to say that I'm only 1/3 of the Mike and the Mad Dog radio program?
I think in the spirit of being, in the spirit of candor and forthrightness and honesty, yes.
So it's not a 50-50 thing as far as you're concerned?
I think he meant, Dog, only in the physical sense.
Oh, okay. I thought he meant it as far as the contribution aspect of it is concerned.
No, that is what I meant. Mike's the man.
A sports doctor.
So I have here in front of me
Give me a sports doctor, Ryan.
a sports doctor. Let me tell you something.
Sure.
Now let's look at the South. We're looking at the March. We're looking at the brackets here.
This is absurd. I mean, you are so into this all of a sudden.
Let me tell you
All
who's.
right, go ahead.
Let me tell you who's a very dangerous 12. Utah.
Come on, Utah shouldn't even be in the tournament, for
Well,
God's sake.
all right.
I mean, geez, Utah's done nothing. They're lucky they're in this thing.
Let me tell you.
like Utah now? Why Utah? Because Mike likes Majerus?
And let me tell you something else. Duke will not emerge from that bracket.
I agree with you. Well, I will say this.
Yeah.
That bracket, I'm not sure who's going to beat them, but I will say this. Duke will not win the NCAA championship.
No.
Now, you want to tell me they're going to get picked off, by a USC type instead of getting picked off by a Oklahoma or a Kansas, Maryland? All right, that's fair. But I agree with you on your basic premise that this is the year that Duke won't go back-to-back. I happen to agree with you wholeheartedly. I don't think Duke will win it. I think Kansas should win it because they're the best team. I'm a little worried about that loss on Sunday that they had, but I think Kansas is the best team, Don. So I would pick Kansas to win the whole thing. I know you want to go bracket by bracket. If you don't like Duke to win the South, who wins the South?
I like Alabama.
I like Alabama. I'm sure you've seen them play about 25 times, right?
I like Alabama, and I'll tell you who else I like. I like Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State.
They're very, very powerful in the paint. They love to.
What do you mean powerful in the paint? When do you know anything about Oklahoma State?
They love to run. They're up on the boards back on the D.
Chuck, where's he getting this information from?
I don't know.
Now look at the West, how they loaded that up. I mean, even I know that was outrageous.
That was crazy. You're right about that, Don.
Even though the coach at UCLA is a bimbo.
Oh, he is. He's an idiot.
Oh, yeah.
Inconsistent. Lavin, you're never going to win a championship with Steve Lavin as your head coach.
But that team is they beat Arizona. They could be very dangerous. They could get on a roll here.
UCLA is not going to win. The West is very interesting. A lot of people right now are loving Oklahoma. I mean, Oklahoma. I mean, not that they're a trendy pick as a 2 seed, but boy, a lot of people like Oklahoma to go win the whole thing.
They easily come out of the West. Easily.
So you like Oklahoma and Alabama. You like two seeds. All right. Who do you like in the Midwest where Kansas is? Who do you like with them?
I like Kansas.
You like Kansas.
I don't know how you beat Kansas.
Well,
let me just say this.
Yep.
Up to Roy Williams. Roy, go on. You got to win.
Oh, I've been saying that for weeks. The bullseye, baby.
Oh, have you really?
Where do you think he got?
Listening too much.
Where do you think he got that information?
I made a contribution to the Imus show.
Precisely.
Well.
No, you're right.
Roy, come on.
The bullseye. I don't want to hear about losing to Rhode Island or UTEP or any of these lousy clubs in the second round.
No.
Bottom line for Roy Williams is there is no second chances.
No, come on, baby.
Win
Yeah.
the NCAA championship.
Now, in the East, UConn being a 2 seed is a disgrace.
You are hot stuff. Now I know where you're picking this up. Mike said that all week.
He did?
Didn't like the Big East being a 2 seed.
Maybe
You're a phony.
you don't think I might have talked to Lupica too, maybe?
Well, I'm surprised Lupica didn't pick Pepperdine to go all the way. He loves Westfall.
If it wasn't for Lupica and Francesa and you, I couldn't even talk.
You know more about this than anybody says you do. You are a very smart and knowledgeable sports fan. And I'm sure Sid Rosenberg and Werner have made some contributions.
Sid's a moron.
So I say all right, so who do you like in the East, Don? You like Kansas, Alabama, Oklahoma. Who's your East team?
Well, that's tough.
You got Maryland, you have obviously Connecticut. Who do you like in the East?
I'm thinking here. Well, Kentucky, they can't get it done.
No, they've been terrible.
I like Georgia.
Georgia shouldn't even be a 3 seed. I like Georgia.
Yep. They love to run. They're very strong in the paint.
Oh, jeez.
They have great three shooters.
Chuck, stop this right now.
I can't control that.
This is absurd, Don. Where are you analyzing these teams? You haven't seen Georgia play since Jimmy Carter was the president, for God's sakes.
Hey, by the way,
yes.
How come you left my guy Francesa out to dry when he went on that teddy bear rant during the skating thing in the Olympics?
I did, didn't I?
Yeah.
I did kind of leave Mike out on the limb all by his lonesome. That was a tough situation. I know what you say. You got to back up your partner no matter what, correct?
Yeah. Well, I think in that case, when he was trying to be funny. I mean, he was trying to be funny. It was funny.
It was funny. He was, and he happens to be right. And male skaters hanging on the teddy bears, a little shaky.
No, it was a scream.
It was, and I did. You're right. I did hang him out to dry on that. It's 1,000% correct.
In fact, he had previewed it for us. He just thought of it spontaneously, by the way.
And by the way, I was in that office when he previewed for it to you, and you disagreed with him, my friend. You said, "Oh, Mike, it's not that bad." You were off that, and so you are being a phony as
no.
because you thought Mike was going over the top.
No. I recognized that he was being funny. He's a funny guy. Oh, you know that.
Mike is extremely witty. We have said that 1,000 times.
I mean, he can be funny, and he was. Once he got rolling, I mean, I was in the car. I'd already heard it, and Brant and I were screaming, laughing.
Yeah, that
was really funny. I mean, you left him out there.
You thought I didn't do a good job there.
No, I mean, you gotta do like Bernie and Lou and Chuck do, and Warner and Sid. You gotta get on board.
No, Chris wanted no part of that.
Unless you were offended by it.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, you're by yourself on this one.
Bernie from downtown.
A little bit of a tendency to hug a bear there, Christopher?
Many a time, Bernie, many a time.
So
you like, so let's get this straight. You like Georgia? You like Kansas?
I don't know if I like Georgia, really. I don't know who I like out of there. I mean, I guess Maryland's a good team. Big team. It's a big team.
Oh, come on.
No, it's a big team.
This is hard to take. You analyzing these teams backwards and forwards. If you're right, fine.
I don't know how you...
Fine. You want to be Mr. College basketball? Fine. Analyze the Siena Alcorn State for a game tonight.
Well, it's nothing to analyze.
Who's the coach of Siena?
I have no idea.
Who's the coach of Alcorn State?
Oh, you know I don't know this.
Oh, no, you're analyzing Georgia. They get big people. They run. They shoot threes. Well, fine. Analyze Siena.
I said I don't know anything about him, you fruit.
They got to play Maryland, and it doesn't make any difference. Really.
Let me apologize for lashing out at you. Let me just let me just say this. Siena wins by 12.
So you like Siena. So you know enough about the two teams to make a prediction.
Well, I guess, yeah.
So you like Siena to win tonight. I happen to agree with you. I think Siena wins tonight.
There you go.
I have no idea.
Where is the game?
They'll be playing it there, and
Sure, right at the place.
Right at the place there.
The main
arena, right in the
main arena.
On the pavilion deal.
It's going to be in Dayton.
Dayton.
Is the NCAA basketball tournament? Is that? I know you love the U.S. Open tennis, but is the NCAA basketball tournament your favorite sporting event of the year?
No, it's not.
What is?
The
Celebrity boxing.
The baseball playoffs.
I don't believe I'm hearing that.
Well,
you like the baseball playoffs better than you like the NCAA?
Yeah.
So you watch all those baseball playoff games?
Well, some of them. No.
Baseball doesn't get too boring for you?
No, I'll tell you, who's made me a really big fan, even more so than I was, is Don DeLillo, Pete Hamill, Mike Francesa.
Donna wrote that terrible book.
Joe Buck.
Who put everybody to sleep.
Who?
I know who you did. That guy who wrote that book started off the 1951, that Mafia book. What's it called?
DeLillo?
Oh, God, that was a terrible book. Awful.
The guy's a genius.
A genius. I couldn't get through 20 pages of that stupid book.
Oh, well, then...
And I'm
have to go at the wall? You couldn't read that?
And I, my friend, I'm a good reader. And I
know you are.
I couldn't get through 20 pages of that thing. Oh, my God, did he put me to sleep. But no, so Lupica, Francesa, McCarver, and Buck, who you like a lot, correct?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I look for Coach Lanier tonight at Siena to take this thing...
lead his Saints to...
a resounding victory over Alcorn State.
No doubt. Well, they won 25 games 3 times in the 90s, you know.
Listen to Chuck make a contribution. Chuck knows more about Siena than he does about the news.
Warner just brought a note in for me. He said there's no difference between me and Doris Kearns Goodwin.
So, Don, I'm coming to work today, and you and I at 12 I'm gonna get a pool for you, and I'm gonna get Chuck to work on it as well.
Oh, dear God.
And you and I, and Chuck could pick, Chuck is so smart, he'll have Winthrop and Alcorn State in the championship game, and I can think he's got it right.
I'm not doing the pool this year. I'll give you the money. No.
Oh, come on, man, that's not right. We need you to do that pool. What's the matter with you? All of a sudden, you're too big? You're above the FAN cretins to do a pool?
Well, it's not going to happen.
Yes, you are going to do it.
It's not going to happen. Anyway.
Inbounding Okafor, 72-65. Philip Brown down court. Selby's going to go and crush it with 2 hands. There you go. The Connecticut Huskies are champions of the Big East Conference.
You don't like my peaches, don't you shake my tree. If you don't like my peaches, don't you shake my tree. That's the way I was born. That's the way it's gonna be. Well, I got to get out of here. Imus in the morning.
Jeffrey Deaver calls it suspense.
To read and pronounce. Well, you don't like Don DeLillo, you know. And then there's something wrong with it. I would remind everybody I predicted that the Patriots would win the Super Bowl. If y'all remember.
In
What context do you remind us of that?
Well, in terms of my Final Four stuff.
Oh, okay. In sports prognostication.
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely.
I don't need to be dissed by midget chump jock nitwits around the radio station.
Dweebs. Yeah. Knowledge means nothing. It's instinct.
Yeah. So I just don't know. I don't know. So to update you on the news, there have been almost 30 Palestinians and close to 10 Israelis killed just today over there. And we talked to, everybody about it. And, I asked the fundamental questions that probably seem moronic to you.
No, they don't, as a matter of fact.
But it is, it's always, in my view, it's always important to try to go back and get a basic understanding of what's at issue here.
And how we got here.
Yeah. So, I mean, there are, I've always said there are more racists in New York City than there is in Mississippi, Alabama. I mean, there are more people who genuinely don't like black people in New York than anywhere. And other races as well, so. But, I mean, I don't know. I don't see any hope. I mean, I obviously don't know enough about it, but I mean, I think if you're a Jew and there's places you can't live in New York City. It's very subtle, incidentally, so I think, I mean, it's New York City. So, if you can't live on Park Avenue or Fifth Avenue here, you can live in the Middle East surrounded by 300,000 people who hate you. 300 million.
Yeah.
300 million. Oh, I mean, it's disheartening and discouraging, and it's, there's not even anything funny. I mean, we're always looking for funny stuff, to make, that's our deal, I mean, it's not even anything funny. It's just, I don't know. You got anything going on? Bring me up to date here.
A search is on for 3 crewmen from a U.S. Navy helicopter, which has crashed in the Mediterranean Sea this morning on a routine training flight off the coast of Greece, having taken off from a U.S. destroyer in the area. Destroyer lost communications and radar contact with a Seahawk chopper, which is assigned to a squadron based out of Mayport, Florida. No word on the cause of the crash, and the search is on for 3 crewmen involved in that. Closing arguments are today, in the Andrea Yates murder trial. And jurors could get the case they're thinking by midday.
That went fast, didn't it?
Yeah. President Bush heading to Pennsylvania today.
And the rain is falling down. The church door's thrown open. I can hear the organ song, but the congregation's gone. My city of ruins, my city of ruins. Now with these heads, with these heads, with these heads, come on, rise up, come on, rise up, come on, rise up, come on, rise up, come on, rise up. Imus in the morning.
Attention Yankee fans, too bad.
We'll call it a payback. Been coming for years. This is severe. Put them suckers in fear. Till the tears fill every cave from Kabul to Khartoum. Gonna make them go boom. Enduring freedom. Take it to the Al-Qaeda. You know we're gonna beat them. Put their pictures on America's most wanted show. For little quid pro quo. Can't be downtrodden. Find Bin Laden. Make sure the fallen heroes will never be forgotten. Won't let up till we get his head up on the wall. Man says kill them all. I said knock you out. So stop it, we gonna knock you out. I said knock you out. So stop it, we gonna knock you out. I said knock you out. So stop it, we gonna knock you out. I said knock you out. So stop it, we gonna knock you out. Don't assassin. So you're just trespassing, waging your hate campaign in the name of God. It's just a facade. You thought that you had caught all Uncle Sam napping. But then what happened? Woke a sleeping giant who's gonna stand tall and make terrorists fall. We ain't chicken, you're taking a licking. That comics of yours is gonna stop ticking. But you won't need a watch, we tell you what time it is. It's a little pop quiz. Who's gonna rock your world like a thunderstorm? And we just getting warm. I said knock you out, so Osama, we gonna knock you out. I said knock you out, so Osama, we gonna knock you out. I said knock you out, so Osama, we gonna knock you out. I said knock you out, so Osama, we gonna knock you out. Tell your moolah, little Muhammad Omar, to just say au revoir. You think we don't have the stomach for a marathon? Well, let's get it on. United we stand, ain't nothing we can't surmount. You're going down for the count. Wanna die for your cause? Well, let us help you and make your wish come true. We gonna keep kicking your ass and taking your names till you're surrounded by flames. Won't stop this fight even after they ring the bell. See you in hell. I said knock you out, so Osama, we gonna knock you out.
Off the hook.
I said knock you out, so Osama, we gonna knock you out. What?
Imus said knock you out.
We're ready.
All right, 18 till the hour here in the Imus Morning Program, and now joining us later than usual, but the man's alarmed at the market here. First 12 minutes, tanking. From CNBC is Ron Insana. Good morning, Mr. Insana.
Good morning, Mr. Imus.
Why is the Dow down 80 points or whatever?
We got a couple of headlines that seem to be bothering the market. Lucent saying that it's going to take a...
Game time 7:35 with Knicks tip-off at 7:05. Join me, Mike Breen, along with John Andres for all the play-by-play. Here on your flagship station for New York sports, The Fan, Sports Radio 66, WFAN New York.
Presenting the totally redesigned Mercury Mountaineer, an SUV meticulously engineered for the real world. For your peace of mind, Mountaineer was named a best pick by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. For your informed decision, Mountaineer earned the best front crash test rating in its class. And for your cash flow, the all-wheel drive V6 Mercury Mountaineer features a new lease rate of $399. The SUV built for here is here. Shop early at your Tri-State Mercury dealer for best selection. $399 a month lease for 36 months with zero security deposit and $26.78 cash due at signing after $2,000 cash back. This Ford Credit Red Carpet lease excludes tax, title, and license fees. For cash back, take delivery by 4802. Call 1-888-56-LEASE for details. Best rating in its class based on government front crash test rating for driver and front passenger.
Game homestand tomorrow night when they take on the Boston Bruins. Game time at the Garden is 8:05 with the pregame at 7:35. Join Sal Messina and me, Kenny Albert, for all the action exclusively on the flagship station for New York sports, The Fan. Sports Radio 66, WFAN, New York.
Copyright 2002, Infinity Broadcasting. All your rights is reserved. Imus in the Morning is a presentation of WFAN and Westwood One Entertainment.
The flagship station for Imus in the Morning and New York sports all day is The Fan. Sports Radio 66, WFAN New York, an Infinity Broadcasting station. WFAN 2020 Sports.
Good morning, 10 o'clock. This is John Minka.
Down to 45 seconds.
I have a limo right in the back. I lock the doors in case I'm attacked. I'm making records, my fans, they can't wait. They write me letters, tell me I'm great. So I got me an office, gold records on the wall. Just leave a message, maybe I'll call. Imus in the morning.
If you're going to run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you have to count
2020 Sports.
Clap for the Wolfman.
With the great Warner Wolf.
You're gonna dig in till the day you die.
It's all according to how your boogaloo situation stands, you understand?
Have mercy. Good morning, Warner.
Good morning, I'm the Imus in the Morning Sports Report brought to you by Lufthansa. Lufthansa flies to more than 100 European destinations. See your travel agent. All right, NCAA begins tonight. Actually began the other night with the 64th and 65th teams playing. So, 63 games will be played and 64 by 64 teams between tonight and Monday, April the 1st. Duke is a 3-2 favorite to win it all. Hampton is 1,000 to 1, and you can have Winthrop at 3,000 to 1. Karl Malone, accused by Knicks coach Don Chaney of being a dirty player, says Chaney is a dead man walking and should count his days till he loses his job instead of worrying about Karl Malone. And finally, Martin Boozer has won the Iditarod trail sled race in Alaska for the 4th time. You know what Boozer said before taking off on his final run?
Give me a drink.
Mush. Well, I could say for Imus in the Morning Sports, this is Warner Wolf. But
Who is gonna make it? We'll find out in the long run. In the long run, Imus in the morning.
Road and Track's editors wanted to take the Lincoln LS for a quick spin. They drove it hard and put it away wet. And 50,482 miles later, they said, we can enthusiastically recommend the Lincoln LS, the luxury sports sedan born in the USA. And now, during the Lincoln Winter event, the best LS lease ever just got better with 0 first month's payment and 0 security deposit for the Lincoln LS V8 New York Edition with no charge moonroof. For a limited time, lease the Lincoln LS V8 New York Edition with 0 first month's payment and 0 security deposit for just $399 a month for 36 months with $21.49 cash due at signing. And be sure to ask about Lincoln complimentary maintenance. Faster than you can say, was that a Lincoln? Our winter event will be over. Lincoln, American luxury. This Ford Credit Red Carpet lease excludes tax, title, and license fees. Call 1-888-56-LEASE for details. Road and Track, October 2001.
There's a snap. There's a kick. It is up. It is no good. Norwood missed. 4 seconds left. The Giants have won Super Bowl 25 by the score of 20-19.
Hi, this is Carl Banks.
73% is what I own up to. That's it.
How you doing? How are you?
What's happening, Don?
You're happening.
I can't stand you this week. You know?
Why?
Because every 2 minutes you're running down the hall with that dumb bracket, changing it. I don't want to hear anymore, okay? I mean, just pick 4 teams. You're going to change them at the end of the weekend anyway. We all know it. Everyone in your office knows it. You just they just fill your bracket out on Monday morning, next Monday, and say, I had the 4 teams, and the hell with it.
No,
Because what are your 4 teams now? I guarantee they're not the same as they were yesterday when I saw you about 12:30.
All right, here are my 4
Go
teams.
ahead.
Out of the West, Oklahoma.
That's a different one than you had yesterday.
Do you want my 4 picks or not?
All right, go ahead.
Okay. Out of the West, we have Oklahoma.
All right.
Out of the South, Pitt.
Pitt, okay.
Right. Out of the East, Maryland, who I'm picking to win it all.
All right.
And out of the Midwest, Boston College.
Boston College?
Yeah.
So that's it?
Yeah.
We're going to live with those 4?
Yes.
All right. No changes?
Well, not at this point, no.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, this is so tedious. It's ridiculous.
Well, now, let's talk a little bit about this. Let me try to ask some fairly intelligent questions. They may not be, but
go ahead.
Start with the West. The criticism from everybody was that that's loaded up. What does that mean?
Loaded up down to the point where this tournament selection committee, which was run by Lee Fowler from NC State, actually seeded the tournament. They didn't have the wrong 65 teams, but the way they seeded them was as bad as I've ever seen. They did such a bad job that the West is so loaded that it is, in my estimate, the strongest bracket I've ever seen in the history of the NCAA tournament. That's how strong it is. There are 9 legitimately good teams in the West, while I could make a case that there are maybe 2 or 3 in a couple other brackets.
Now, in the West, Cincinnati's good, of course.
Both teams legitimate number 1s. They had the problem there is they had 5 teams that deserved to be number 1 picks. They can only have 4 number 1 seeds, so Oklahoma's a 2, but they're a legitimate number 1 also. So those 2 wound up in the same bracket, which is not a major complaint. The problem is they went to sleep. Oklahoma beat Kansas in the conference final, and they made them a 2 seed. Arizona played well. They made them a 3 seed. Ohio State won a Big Ten, which usually accords a lot of respect and keeps you in your region in the Midwest. They got a 4 seed and shipped out west. So the West is, and then Gonzaga, which is a legitimate top 10 team this year, was treated terribly, the worst I've ever seen by the committee, and was given a 6 seed.
Why do you suppose that was?
Well, they thought their schedule on the back end, and the West, that their conference was very weak on the bottom side. So they played
they played 14 games against teams that were ranked number 200 or below in the country. The one thing they didn't tell you about those games is they beat every one of those teams by an average score of 26 points a game.
We're talking with Mike Francesa about the NCAA Final Four basketball tournament that begins today around, I guess, noon on CBS, right?
First game starts at 12:20 this afternoon, yes.
Now, I like UCLA, even though the coach is a bimbo, but they beat, for example, as you know better than I do, they beat Arizona. They beat some good teams. They kind of had an up-and-down year.
They beat Kansas.
Yep, so...
But they can't play... They are about as credible as you are in that they can't play well 2 games in a row.
They don't play the... From the Mike and the Mad Dog radio program, which will, as I said, be simulcast beginning Tuesday on the Yes Television Network. And then, if you want to see it around the country, and you don't have DirecTV, call DirecTV. You should have it anyway. I mean, DirecTV is really, they've got it pretty much straightened out. That was fabulous. So, anyways, 22 after the hour, Christy Musumeci, who was pining her little heart out for a trinket from Jack Welch, is coming up.
Forget the price. Ain't never been there, they tell me it's nice. I live in hotels, tear out the walls. I have accountants pay for it all. They say I'm crazy, but I have a good time. I'm just looking for clues at the scene of the crime. Life's been good to me so long. Imus in the morning.
It's the Stars free preview weekend.
Lord, is Christy Musumeci. Good morning, Christy.
Good morning, Iman. Just a little message for Jack Welch. Diamonds, sapphires, and platinum, always a good way to go.
Here's the thing about Jack Welch that's really so distressing. One, given, once you get past the fact that he shouldn't have done anything that he did, he scored to essentially somebody who everybody else had been pounding.
That's right.
In addition to that, and then you can't be buying her stuff. That's no wonder his wife. I mean, that's you shouldn't be pounding her in the first place. But that's awful.
Exactly.
You just can't do that. I mean, that's so low rent that you're getting a bracelet and a coat. Come on,
here, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Got you a little item.
Exactly.
Oh God,
Just a
that's
little
terrible. That's
Put
terrible.
this on.
All right, well, we got some good stuff for you. Something like
When Bernie was right, he should have got her a dog collar. What a beast.
a bag for her head.
Yeah. That's
some
fine,
stuff.
Christy.
All right. Want to hear about Ted Kennedy?
Sure.
Turned 70 recently, Well, his wife threw him this big bash at their D.C. home.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what he went as? Peter Pan. Ted Kennedy in green tights. Talk about the fat green giant. Shit is swilling. Scary. I was thinking about going as Mary Kopechne myself.
She didn't go as Jacques Cousteau.
I know. I didn't get an invite, unfortunately.
I'm going to tell you something. If you'd have been there with Lobster and the rest of them, you'd have been on a car in a heartbeat, Christy. Wouldn't you, Chuck?
I don't think so.
Well, we would hope
Senator.
Yeah, right. I don't think so. At least please don't be 100 pounds overweight.
Christy, you met your boyfriend at a bar. You went to the bathroom.
Huh?
Come on, you're talking to us.
I'm telling you, it was divine intervention.
Well,
You'd
we'll
fit
see.
right in Hyannis Point or whatever the
Absolutely.
compound is.
Yeah.
All right, can we talk about another high rent lady?
Sure.
Rosie O'Donnell sitting down tonight, one-on-one with Diane Sawyer, for an extensive talk about being a lesbian and being a parent.
Please.
She says, I don't think America knows what a gay parent looks like. I am the gay parent. America has watched me parent my children on TV for 6 years, and they know what kind of a parent I am. I will be the image they can hold on to when they think of gay parenting. 2 words for Rosie. Paula Poundstone.
Well, Christy, come on here. That's very harsh.
That is
Come
rough.
on, like she
And
doesn't
ugly.
deserve it.
That's cold.
Rosie then is going to go on tonight in this interview to challenge George W.
Did you see that celebrity boxing thing last night?
I just couldn't stay up for it. I just couldn't stomach.
I watched it.
You did?
Yeah.
So did I.
How did old Miss Jones do?
It was
Well, the whole
awful.
thing
Awful.
The
It
whole
was
thing
just-
was just offensive.
It was repulsive.
It was stupid. Just stupid.
It was just, and Paula Jones was just terrified.
Yeah.
They kept turning her back and running away, and what's her name just beat the living hell out of her.
Yep.
Tanya.
But it was awful. And why Michael Buffer? Of course, he is a creep. But why he would get involved in this is because he's a creep. That's why he got involved.
There
in
you
it.
go. You answered your own
No,
question.
it was awful. It was repugnant.
Well, her nose, I guess, came out okay, huh?
Danny Bonaducci, who was actually in surprisingly good shape, wasn't he?
Yeah, he did look like.
Well, looked like he'd been in the gym a little bit.
Really?
He beat the hell out. I forget who he fought.
Greg Brady
Barry Williams. Guy.
Yeah, Barry Williams. Yeah.
And then Vanilla Ice and Todd Bridges fought, and
Willis.
or Todd Willis.
Yeah, it's Todd Bridges, but Willis on the show.
Yeah, beat the hell out of him.
Yeah,
Vanilla.
Out of rap, whatever, Ray Van Winkle.
And then was there somebody else who fought?
The brother gave
No,
it
that
to
was
him.
it. Oh. Those were the three.
It was awful.
The brother whooped up on Vanilla Ice.
It was awful.
Wannabe rapper.
Yeah. So anyway, what else?
We got some good dirt here on Chelsea Clinton. This is great. Following dear old dad's footsteps to Oxford University, but might find herself facing expulsion, I-Man.
What'd she do?
Apparently she's getting a reputation for being a major partier and a sloppy drunk. MSNBC.com, okay?
Oh, come on here now.
MSNBC.com is reporting. An Oxford source has said school officials less than thrilled about all the press of her off-campus partying, photos of her staggering bleary-eyed into London bars, and last year, the Secret Service apparently had to tell bartenders to cut her off. They were worried that she was going to heed this advice from men who were asking her to do a table dance.
Oh, man. Chelsea Clinton doing a table dance? I'd rather go to the zoo and slip singles into the rhinos.
32 after the hour. Shut up, both of you. Both of you are suspended.
My Maserati does 185. I lost my license, now I don't drive. I have a limo right in the back. I lock the doors in case I'm attacked. I'm making records, my fans, they can't wait. They write me letters, tell me I'm great. So I got me an office called Records on the Wall. Just leave a message, maybe I'll call. Lucky I'm sane after all I've been through. I can't complain, but sometimes I still do. Life's been good to me so long. I'm in the morning.
Missing your big-time sports? Don't fret.
I'm Laura McNichol for the Fan Highway Patrol. Thank you for calling First Procrastination Mortgage, where customer service is always...
Wow. And if you get to thinking about it, that is it. I mean, I know a lot of people don't think that, but they're wrong. But you look in the little child's eyes, and they couldn't make that commercial and couldn't cue the kid and say, look like you're, shows the love in your eyes. And the joy in your heart. You couldn't. But, I mean, if that didn't ring your bell, nothing will. So, and I look at every time I see the kid, I say, that's Wyatt, So, anyway. The only time I've thought about drinking in the past 15 years was, I actually was thinking of, I wasn't going to go buy any vodka, but I might have if I hadn't been married and had Wyatt. I might have. I don't think I would have, but I might have.
Recently, you mean?
Yeah.
The whole, yeah.
I could have a couple drinks and they're gone 15 years out.
I don't think it, I think you certainly have demonstrated a remarkable inner strength and will to
because
be able to overcome it.
It does make you. I mean, I never could figure out why I drank, but I think I drank because it makes you numb, and I don't know. But I didn't, and I didn't that day, and I don't plan to today. So see what happens.
Sure, it's only 28 minutes after the hour.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
So, my wife has a good handle on stuff. She's, and so does Charles. But my wife's very smart about a number of things, and that's one of them. But I don't know. Tomorrow we're going to be in Boston. I mean to bum me out here, but tomorrow we're going to be in Boston, causing torment and agony for people.
Precisely.
On 96.9 FM Talk, our station there will be at the Four Seasons Hotel. And we'll have Mike Barnacle and Jay Severin. Dropkick Murphys kick out the Jam's Irish band. Are they any good, Lou?
You know what? They're really good, actually.
They're like what?
They
Megadeth?
sound like they're like Black 47. They're like traditional Irish, but they're, it's like rock.
Yeah.
You know.
And John McDermott, who is, in my view, the Elvis of those Irish tenors. I saw him on PBS's running that deal with trying to sell you the tote bag.
Yeah.
And
it's a great show.
He was on, and I remember I even said to Deirdre, I said, man, this guy's unbelievable. And then, of course, Bedard informed me he'd already been on the show a couple of times. But I'd forgotten that. Senator John Kerry will be on, Bud Collins, Darrell Waltrip, and Fred Imus. So,
should be fun.
You know, it touches everybody. Fred's wife, Lynn, yesterday took a lump out of her breast.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just every time you turn around. It's,
sure.
Speaking of that, the Autobody Express, sponsored by Mohegan Sun, and the 50% off sale continues. Everything in stock, including the Fat Loser, Lion Weasel, and Bald-Headed Geek T-shirts and baseball hats. Not cheap stuff. Heavy-duty cotton duck, same material they make the jackets out of. That's how good the hats are. They're unbelievable. And the T-shirts are 100% cotton, heavy-duty T-shirts, not gas station, cheap, cheesy radio station giveaway stuff. It's great stuff. All 50% off. Doesn't include the Imus Brothers coffee or Fred Imus Southwest salsa or Fred Imus turquoise buffalo tortilla chips. But come on here. You're killing us. It's 30 minutes after the hour. We're going to talk with Hulk Hogan. Where is Hulk?
He has not phoned in as of yet.
Big moron.
Yeah.
He's supposed to phone in.
You better phone in. The I-Man's been in a gym.
Yeah, because he needs to be informed. I've been going to the gym 5 days a week for 2.5 months, and I'll put a world-class ass open on that big stooge.
Like the liver spots off his big.
Yeah, I'll knock the liver spots out of that fat bald-head it is. That's what I'm talking about. Have you been victimized by your stockbroker or an investment advisor? Have you lost?
Brother from another mother. How you doing?
I'm fine, baby. How are you?
You know the deal is, man, the Rolling Stones did it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen so many people do this thing. Imus did it. Now Hulk Hogan's doing it. What's old is new again.
Yeah.
We're putting these young guys in checkmate, man.
I hear you. Where are you this morning?
Well, I just sit back here to Florida to I had to get a little workout in and see my family doctor. I got a couple cracked ribs here, that I kind of like. I must have been half asleep in the hotel room and stumbled into the doorknob or something because you're not supposed to get hurt in wrestling,
Good thing you're not here because I got some bad news for you.
What's wrong, brother?
I've been going to the gym 5 days a week for 3 months.
Well, that's good news. I've been checking you out, man. You're looking good. You're looking good.
I'm ready to put a big-time, serious ass-whooping on you.
Oh, no. Hey, I'm your friend, man. Come on now. Take it easy.
I hit you so hard it'll hurt your relative. I hit you so hard it'll hurt Gorgeous George.
Use all that aggression on about 10 of those girlfriends you've got. Don't take it out on me.
How have you been?
I'm doing great, man. I just sat around for a year and a half and playing Mr. Mom and the babysitter, and I was the best taxi service in the neighborhood, and finally I saw all these guys popping off on how great they were and that they're changing wrestling. And I said, something? My dad passed away around Christmas time, and one of the last things he said to me, he says, Terry, go back and straighten everything out in the wrestling world. So my kids were too young during my heyday, and one of my dad's last wishes was for me to go out there and drop a big leg on somebody. So I'm going around the block one more time at WrestleMania. This is the biggest thing ever, man. This is bigger than me and Andre.
How old was your dad?
Well, my dad passed away at 88.
That's a pretty good run.
Yeah, he had a hell of a run there. He fought till the end, but he just said, I'm tired of this crap. And he decided to move on to a better place.
Well, God bless him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that, but 88, I'll sign up for that today.
That's a hell of a deal, isn't it?
So you're going to fight The Rock?
The Rock, man, this guy's on a roll. He's like, like Hulk Hogan was in the 80s. He's on the roll. He's got the world by the you-know-what. And he's got his new movie, Scorpion King, coming out. He's got Universal, King Kong, and Arnold, and everybody behind him. And, he just went out there and made a mistake by saying he's the greatest wrestler there ever was. I mean, he might be Mark McGuire on a streak, but, brother, I'm Babe Ruth. Now, come on, give it up.
Yeah, I mean, who's he kidding? The Rock. Get out of here.
So he's in for a couple lessons here this Sunday. But the funny part is I've been involved in all the big ones, man. Andre the Giant, the first one, WrestleMania 1.
Oh, I remember.
I've been involved in all the big ones, and this one's got that feel that this is bigger than all of them put together.
Now, how do we see this?
Well, I tell you, you either go up to Toronto and get one of them. The ringside seats are about $2,400. So I guess you could get a scalper to sell you one for about $10,000. Or you can either sit home and drink a beer and watch order your DirecTV local cable company.
Oh, okay.
Deal.
And it's Sunday when?
It's this Sunday, bro. I think it's the 17th.
Wow.
This Sunday.
Yeah, that's this Sunday.
Well, that is it. Now, it's you and that's the main event, obviously.
Yes, sir.
Who else is on this?
Well, they've got Stone Cold Steve Austin, that no good SOB, that drinking rattlesnake. He's wrestling Scott Hall, and they've got Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, against Chris Jericho, the guy that they say is the champion. I don't know how the hell he could be the champion. Never beat me, but anyway,
beat anybody.
Artistic liberty, creative licensing in the wrestling world.
He beat some girls who he beat.
I don't know about that.
Well,
but he sure hasn't beaten me. But the big one is me versus The Rock, brother. Hulk Hogan versus The Rock.
You sound a little mellow this morning.
No, I just got done working out, man. I just got done working out. I can do like this, brother. I can yell at you, say that Imus is going to be in my corner. We're going to tear down the world, tear up the divorce papers. But, man, I'm just trying to... My kids are in the other room. They finish school today. So I'm just... See, when I come in the house here at home, all this Hulk Hogan crap, all that red and yellow stage clothes, that gets left at the front door. When I come in, I'm Terry, and I take the damn trash out and feed the dogs.
How old are your kids now?
My kids are 11 and 13.
Oh, so this actually will be...
Oh, this is huge.
This will be huge for them.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of backed off this whole full-time Hulkamania stuff a few years ago, and they were really too small to experience the power, brother. But now they're going to get a dose of it.
Well, they must have seen films and video stuff when you were...
seeing film and video and sitting here, with a dog barking and the cat peeing on the carpet is different than being in an arena with 70,000 people or 90,000 people screaming Hogan,
I wonder why, you've been asked this question 5 million times, but why is wrestling so popular?
When I look at this thing, it's just, when I look at, human nature and what people look for, they look for this level of entertainment. And sometimes you can buy a boxing match and see Mike Tyson knock somebody out in 10 seconds, or him get knocked out in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Or, you can go to a bad movie. But for some reason, this wrestling, with it being a controlled situation, and we got 3 hours where when people buy the ticket, they know they're going to be entertained. And the entertainment level of it, and just the fact that people live vicariously through these characters, like Stone Cold wants to beat up his boss, and Hulk Hogan, the old guy, is fighting for survival against the new young lion. I mean, there's a lot to be said there.
These storylines, of course, are rival anything that's ever been on, any of these soap operas, and certainly even, they even rise to the level of Dallas and those kinds of things. But boy, people really get into them. Was that McMahon's idea, all that stuff, or?
Yeah, well, he's got this whole wrestling sports entertainment market cornered. I mean, there's been a lot of people that I worked for Ted Turner for 6 years, and I went out and messed around and worked in Japan. But if it's in your blood, it's in your blood. And I mean, this guy lives this business 24 hours a day, and now it's gotten easier for him because his children are growing up and they're in the business. So, like when we're away from home missing our families, his family's with him, and he can really concentrate on wrestling. And his kids, it's in their blood too. They picked up on this whole wrestling thing. And so, I mean, it's hard to beat somebody when they're living it 24 hours a day and they're good at it.
I know there's been some criticism in some areas that some of it got a little pornographic.
Well, that's one of the things where I kind of like balked. I've changed through the ages, and I was pretty stiff a few years ago when I saw the women going up to the edge and they were being exploited and they were pulling their tops off, and they were doing the Jerry Springer wrestling, the shock wrestling to get some ratings. But now it all goes full circle. It's all dialed back down, and the important stuff is the legend Hulk Hogan, the real legend in wrestling against the new young lion. And I think the wrestling, it's been reeled back in again, and they pushed it to the edge. And those shock numbers you get during the quarter hours, they don't last long. You got to be solid with your with your work, and I think they're back to the basics again.
Of course, I'm not a rabid wrestling fan, but I know enough to know what's going on. And I just, my own view was that was never absolutely that necessary. That it can be enormously entertaining because it's fun, it's show business, it's
theater.
It's theater, it's smoke and lights and colorful stuff. And it's like going to. I'm sure you've been to one of these car races.
Oh yeah.
We went. Charles and I went down. A bunch of us went down to. We broadcast one of our affiliates down in Charlotte.
Yeah.
And the first time I'd ever been to a NASCAR race, and man, I was just blown away about just how
spectacle,
how colorful, and the whole spectacle of it. You know, people bad-mouthing car race thinking it's for a bunch of rednecks with no teeth, but of course they found out that that's not true. But wrestling has the same attraction, you know, because of the fact that it's colorful. And, well, I'm glad the girls not taking their tops off. We don't need that.
No, well, they've learned that it's the big show, it's the production. You got to dazzle them with footwork and, like you said, smoke and mirrors. But the thing is, it's solid entertainment people can get behind, and I'm glad to be part of it again because there was some time, where it was questionable, and I was kind of sitting on the edge trying to decide what I wanted to do. But now, the people, in the wrestling audiences, they're back to what was solid. It's kind of like Michael Jordan coming back. It's like when George Foreman came back. I can't believe the way the American public. I guess the whole thing is I've been around so damn long. It's like Willie Nelson said, you ride the highs and you survive the lows. I mean, my career has been up and down. I've been around so damn long. I think I've finally gained their damn respect.
Let me ask you something. Do you have any idea who wins this thing?
Oh, I got a pretty good damn idea. I wish I could get some numbers on this thing in Vegas. But seeing how it's an exhibition, it's been deregulated. I can't get nobody to take my bets.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be fun. Thank you very much, Hulk, for taking the time to talk with us. I appreciate it.
And I just want to tell you something. I sat in your studio one day, and I kind of I've talked to you on the air, like I am now, but one day I sat in your studio, and I got to know the man, Imus, and I kind of watched you work, and over the years I've been following you, I've gained a great amount of respect for you, man. If I was a woman, I'd marry you.
Oh, you're making me nervous now, baby.
Well, you're really not my type, but I'd hit you up for that wallet, brother.
Thanks, Hulk.
Okay, have a great day.
Thank you. Hulk Hogan will wrestle The Rock Sunday night on DirecTV.
The Pebble.
And Stone Cold's going to be there, and a bunch of other Triple H and a bunch of other folks, and they've sold out 70 or 90,000 people up there in that stadium.
Yeah.
Scalping the tickets, and I guess they've cleaned it up a little bit. In fact, a lot, I guess. But I always liked him, and he's colorful and fun, and
yes,
that's what it is. It's fun. So.
Good guy.
Anyway, 14 till the hour.
Whiskey River, take my mind. Don't let her memory torture me. Whiskey River, don't run dry. You're all I got, take care of me. Imus in the morning.
Once in a while, advertise a spot for an affiliate in Phoenix. So I don't have time to go back and do it when I get off, so let's do it now. Well, you ain't hot yet, baby, but you know you will be soon. How about the traffic? You need a place to get away? 61 acres from $21,900 in the White Mountain area at 6,000-foot elevation. Enjoy the climate, the peace and quiet, and the wonderful folks and places of the White Mountains. These ranches are nicely treed and have incredible views, and they are nearby lakes and trout streams and skiing. Sound like paradise today, man. You should see for yourself. So give them a call at 1-888-BIG-LAND, B-I-G-L-A-N-D. Get out to heat and traffic, escape to some of Arizona's high country. 61 rolling treed acres for $21,900. Call them 1-888-BIG-LAND, B-I-G-L-A-N-D. Here's that number again now. Write this down. 1-888-BIG-LAND. Right. 8 minutes till the hour. Here come the Wolfman.
Imus in the morning, 2020 sports.
Clap for the Wolfman.
With the great Warner Wolf.
You're gonna dig until the day you die.
It's all according to how your boogaloo situation stands, you understand?
Have mercy. Good morning, Warner.
Hey, good morning, man. Hey, man, I've got a question.
Yeah.
You just did that spot for Arizona, right?
Yeah.
How come they played St. Louis Blues under it?
They didn't play St. Louis Blues.
St. Louis woman.
No.
I got in for
Is that what that was? Oh, the Ace Cannon. What was the name of that song?
I think Warner's right.
St. Louis Blues. That was the St. Louis Blues.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Still sounded good.
Hey, it was good. Hey,
You bet.
I went to that baseball. Every baseball Hall of Famer was at the American Museum of National History.
What?
Natural History. Tuesday. Every baseball Hall of Famer was
Joe DiMaggio was there?
No.
Well, then
Say what?
Babe Ruth there? Mickey Mantle there? Jackie Robinson there?
Ty Cobb?
No.
No. Lou Gehrig?
Then, they were appearing elsewhere.
Thurman Munson? No.
You are correct, sir.
Well, let me tell you, I'll tell you something. Great stories. There was Warren Spahn was there. Now, you know, Spahn, great, won more games than any other left-hander in the history of baseball. 363. So when he came back to the Braves, 1946, right after the war, he was in the Battle of the Bulge. So he said, heck, pitching in the major leagues was nothing. Because he says, I knew nobody was going to shoot at me, no matter how bad I did.
Sure.
I feel you.
That's a great story.
That is a good story.
Yeah.
And then there was Lou Brock. Brock was not a home run hitter. Little guy. He had a home run into the center field bleachers at the old Polo Grounds, 500 feet away.
Wow.
He said he never saw the ball, and as he's running around the bases, he sees the umpire twirling his finger, which is the home run sign.
Yeah.
He thought the umpire was saying, if you hurry up, you can get an inside the park home run. So he never looked up, and he ran around the bases. Didn't know the ball was out of the park.
One more story, Warner. I will shoot you.
Well, you like this one.
right.
Sparky Anderson.
Get your gun out.
I said, now, as a manager, you're managing the Great Red Machine.
Right.
And, all those guys, Rose and Perez, Concepcion.
On the
Okay.
bench.
Could you treat those guys the same way you treat a rookie? Or do you have a double standard? He said, let me tell you something. In spring training, I would call everybody together and say, fellas, this is how it works. If you're Pete Rose, you can ask me for a favor. If you're a rookie, don't bother to ask. There are no favors until you show you produce for this club.
Right.
Huh?
Pay your dues, huh?
You're like,
There you go. You got to
Really, Warner, you really, you have got to be put to sleep.
Wait a minute.
Pass those marshmallows.
How about Brooks Robinson?
How about putting you to sleep?
These are
I'm putting you and Brooks
Come
Robinson
on,
to
these are
sleep.
great. All the baseball fans out there saying,
Nobody cares about it. Get them out of here.
What are you
These are
talking
great
about?
glimpses into.
These are great nuts.
Wait a minute, Brooks Robinson, right? Hall of Fame.
Lou Brock doesn't know the home run sign?
No.
Wake up, Lou.
Sound like a bunch of old fools.
How about Brooks Robinson, Hall of Fame, right?
We got to
Okay,
go.
MVP.
Out of time.
He's arguing with the general manager. He wants a $500 raise. $500,
what
not $5,000.
What happened?
The general manager, Harry Dalton, says, no, I'm not going to give it to you.
Right.
And Brooks says, I'm holding out. He held out for $500.
That's it.
Did you get it?
He finally got it. Harry Dalton came back and said, all right, Brooks, I'm going to give it to you, but you just remember, you took advantage of me.
Oh, my God.
$500.
Oh, God, we're out of time. I'll be darned.
Hungry's for your love, and I'm waiting in your welfare line. Imus in the morning.
Every retailer says they want your business, but how many actually prove it? Well, participating tri...
Brought in here? Oh, no, I see. Right there. It's just Sid. My underwear is crusted to my groin. Rosenberg.
Good morning, Sid.
Good morning, man. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing well. Before we get to the college basketball stuff, I put together something nice for the wonderful people in Boston who are doing such a great job there today. And if it's okay with you, man, I'd like to play it.
Well, let me hear it.
Well, here it is. Here's one little cut from my good friends up in Boston.
And the pitch by Stanley at a ground ball, trickling. It is a fair ball. Gets by Buckner. Down the third night. The Mets will win the ball game. The Mets win. They win. Unbelievable. The Red Sox in stunned disbelief.
Yeah, I thought that'd be nice.
You're a pig, Sid.
Why? I got one more thing for you, man. Can I play it for you?
Oh, sure.
I think the people in Boston like this one, too. Take a listen.
Deep to left. Yastrzemski will not get his home run. A 3-run home run for Buffington. The Yankees now lead by a score of 3-2.
Yeah. Huh? What happened?
No wonder people hate you.
What are they booing me about?
Oh, well, just general principle.
Yeah.
So, How's your Final Four doing?
My Final Four is doing okay. They're all alive. I have Duke. I have Kansas. They both won yesterday. And I've got Oklahoma, who's going to win today. And I've got missing one team now. Oh, Maryland. They're going to win today, too. But I'm one of the few in this place who still has my Final Four alive.
Well, my Final Four is still alive.
That's right. You have, who do you have? Pittsburgh, Oregon, UNC Wilmington, Duke, Kansas, Minnesota, Cincinnati.
Yeah. I think I have Maryland, Kansas,
Oklahoma,
and who do I have out of the Duke thing? I don't have Duke.
No, you didn't take Duke, but I think you're still alive. You may have taken Pitt, right?
Yeah.
So you're looking good, man. Once again, showing everybody who really knows what's going on.
How's my friend, the sports doctor, doing?
Yeah, he's in critical condition, to be honest with you. The sports doctor needs a doctor. The whole show was terrible yesterday. You got Carlin, the producer. He had USC going to the Final Four, and Pepperdine going to the Elite Eight. He's done. You had Mad Dog picking Gonzaga to go to the Final Four. He's done. And the sports doctor himself must go back to medical school because he had Gonzaga in the Final Four, too.
Well,
what does that say, man?
It says that they were, it's no big deal.
No. That's not what it says.
What
it says, man, is what I've been telling you all along since I came here 9 months ago. And that is when you really want to talk sports and you want to talk it right, you go to one man and one man only.
Who would that be? Warner? That's what somebody here said, Warner Wolf.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say Sid, but certainly Warner. Yes, that's a very good answer. Yeah. Even though your Final Four is still alive too, but.
Yeah. Well,
I must say that I think that the people up in Boston are probably very upset with you that you didn't take me up there today. I heard them yelling.
No, people hate you, Sid. Please don't.
Hey, people in Boston.
All right. What am I supposed to read, Lou?
Dow Jones.
What's Lou doing? Got the lunch? What am I reading, Lou?
Mohegan and Trattoria.
I was laughing too hard at Sid.
You know what's the best thing about visiting Mohegan Sun? There's nobody there else who sings the blues. Blind Mississippi White Boy, Pig Feast Dupree. Hat biting. What you gonna sing for us, son?
I got the color-coded National Security Alert Status Blues.
You got the what now?
The color-coded National Security Alert Status Blues.
I hear that.
See, I got the color in it already, see? Blue and the blues. Right. See, I kind of worked that, the metaphor.
What are you doing there?
There's a cockroach.
Well, I'm sitting here in my fallout shelter, about as lonely as I can be. Sitting here in my personal nuclear holocaust bunker, just waiting for the beginning of World War III. Because between the Taliban, Afghanistan, the Palestinians, and the Jews, there just ain't no forgetting that I think we all are heading for the thing that I'm most dreading, a biblical Armageddon. My rifle's loaded. I got them color-coded National Security Alert Status Blues. Shut up. Tom Ridge said we need a system to know just how careful we all gotta be. So we got somebody to assist them, make a rainbow flow chart depicting levels of severity. But if you colorblind, you just might find all that's left to use an empty pair of smoking shoes. Don't wanna be melodramatic, but if your vision's monochromatic, it could be just a little bit problematic. So I can't be too emphatic. My confidence is eroded. I got them color-coded National Security Alert Status Blues. There's more. Green means hunky-dory. Blue means y'all take care. Yellow means call out the Marines. There may be something in the air. Orange is an indication that missile's gonna fly. If we hit condition red, you dead. So kiss your ass goodbye. Don't let color be a barrier. It's always darkest just before the light. Cause it just ain't no gray area. Your personal safety is the subject, plain as black and white. But when your protection depends upon your perception of a selection of various tints, shades, and hues, better take cover on the ground, because if it ever does go down, it wouldn't surprise me if I found that my shorts was color brown. Disaster is foreboded, my apprehensions duly noted. I got them color-coded National Security Blues.
Mississippi White Boy, Pig Feast Dupree. Halfway the now. 29 after the hour here at the Imus Morning Program. We're in Boston. Darrell Walters coming up.
Mama's around.
streets of New York talking to real...
Rolling Stone. I met the president when I was half stoned. I've been so high, I've gotten confused. I've been beat down, broken, used, mother. I drank with Hank, talked blues with Billy, rocked with Ron, sang with Shotgun Willie. Went from small-time Billy to big-time Bobby, from 3-day-old chili to sake with wasabi. I'm home. You never met a mother quite like Imus in the morning.
She happened to have it on in the kitchen, but anyway. And then I went to work the next day and I talked about it, but I said, you do know the guy's been on our show. A couple times. Live.
Sitting
no,
next to
no,
you.
I did not know that. No. Anyway, well, always nice to see you, Bud. Thanks very much.
Very nice to see you. Michael Barnacle talked about Don Winship, I gathered. What a loss that was to our community and to all his friends. A rare guy in journalism. He had combined two things, two words, ability and humanity, and you just don't find that anymore.
Who now?
Tom Winship. He was the editor of the Globe, who brought the Globe to international prominence.
No, Barnacle did not mention that.
Didn't he?
He didn't have time.
Well, he died yesterday, and it was a great loss
that
to
is
this
true.
town.
That is true.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Bud.
Thank you,
All right,
gentlemen.
please welcome once again now to the Imus Morning Program, the great John McDermott. Well, you actually, you could close the show for us if you want.
Yeah, well.
That'd be great.
Close it with...
It's very nice of you to hang out here this morning and sing for us. I greatly appreciate it.
No, this is hanging out. This is great.
Well, here once again, ladies and gentlemen, John McDermott.
If you know the piece, feel free.
Well, we don't want these people singing along with you.
We want to hear
we want them
you.
to shut up and listen.
My gosh.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of green, for purple mountains majesties, above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crowned thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for patriot's dream that sees beyond the hills. Thine alabaster cities gleam, undimmed by human tears. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crowned thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
John McDermott, here in the Imus Morning Program. Thank you all very much.
Imus in the morning.
Hey, Yankee fans, this season there's a new place to catch the Bronx Bombers. And maybe, unfortunately, the guy that comes to mind right now is Ronnie Lowe.
He's on the firing line, and no sugarcoating it. I don't think he's done a good job. I'm not saying he should be fired today, but he is certainly on the firing line, as is his general manager. You're right. This isn't all left at Ron Lowe's doorstep.
No.
That's just not fair. The Lindros trade came in, played great, got hurt. You don't know when he's going to be hurt again. He came with a ton of warts, Now, the biggest word of all is he plays 2 games, gets a concussion, he's done. That didn't transpire, but it hasn't been like everything has turned up roses since Lindros showed up here. No. He's played well, but at times he doesn't show. He's not a consistent player, much of it due to injuries. Fleury is Fleury, and you know that he's a powder keg and can go off at any time. And same thing with Messier. The Messier move has turned out to prove nothing, Sid. They brought him back here last year. They didn't make the playoffs. He's back again this year. He's going to be teamed with Lindros. This is the year. They get off to the quick start. Look like they're going to be a playoff team. Messier's sitting on the sidelines. Well, should we be shocked that he's hurt? A 41-year-old guy who's probably going to miss the end of the season? No, they paid him good money. He was going to come back. No one said savior, but a guy who could help get them over the top. Can't do anything sitting up in the booth next to Mr. Sather.
Not unless he's going to be your next coach of the team, and maybe he's just practicing right now. But you're right, Jody. Came in last year. I was there that opening night. The electricity at Madison Square Garden, the excitement, the T-shirt that I still have at home right now, that blue T-shirt. The captain is back. And, yeah, you thought that just his presence was going to make a difference, and that has not been the case. And, by the way, talking about Messier, think about this now. In the last week alone, we may have seen the last, at least for this season, of Mark Messier, Mario Lemieux, and Michael Jordan, 3 of the all-time greats in their respected sports. But getting back to the Rangers situation, Glenn Sather's not going to be the guy to take the blame right now in his second season. And guys will call up and talk about what has he done. Well, he got Malakoff, and that was a disaster the first season. The Lindros deal hasn't exactly set the world on fire as of late specifically. He signed Ulanov, he signed Karpus. So Glenny Sather certainly has his responsibility in this mess also. But if there's one guy that you know is going to take the fall, it's going to be Ronnie Lowe. It's going to, at this point, he's the one guy that's going to take the abuse. And I'll come out and say it right now. I don't want to say like I'm defending the Rangers like people claim I do all the time. Ronnie Lowe is not totally to blame for this mess, but somebody's got to take a hit.
No, I think the general manager's just to blame as the coach. I think they're both doing a subpar job. You're right, it's going to fall heavier on the coach because it always does.
Well, the GM
does it just easier.
Well, the coach can't fire the GM. The GM could fire the coach, and eventually ownership has to sit down and go, hey, you know what? We got rid of the coach. We kept him. He brings in somebody else. Nothing else is happening. So just in the natural line of things, it's the GM that'll stick around and the coach that'll go first.
Meanwhile, their counterparts at MSG were down in Miami last night, where a coach and a general manager are just as under fire.
Oh.
Well, they should be. I like Don Chaney. He's a nice guy. He looks like a guy who knows the game inside and out. I think he's got a good feel for it. A lot of times you're just judged on your results. And sometimes it's fair and sometimes it's not. This time, I'm not sure if it's fair or not, but the results are just so bad. Sometimes the results can be looked at in 2 different ways. The results are so bad that I don't think there's anything that Don Chaney can do at this juncture to save his job or turn this season around. I was going back and forth between a couple of things. It was always a 5-point Nick lead. It'd go to 9, I'd turn it back, it'd go down to 3, I'd turn it back, it'd be 7. It was 5 basically throughout the entire first 3 quarters. And I tuned out for about 15 minutes. I came back, and Miami was up 14.
Game was over.
I said I wasn't that tuned out for that long.
Didn't take long.
How did it go from a 5-point Nick lead right near the end of the third period to a 14-point deficit with 6 minutes to play?
I'll tell you how it happened. Miami came out to start the fourth quarter and scored 16, Jody Mack, 16 unanswered points. And the worst part of the whole mess was, and you heard John Andre say this doing the play-by-play with Mike Breen, there was only one starter on the floor at the time, Eddie Jones. Now, Eddie Jones killed the Knicks last night. He had 32 points, but you had Chris Gatling out there, you had Carter out there, you had Jackson out there, and the Knicks had no answer for these guys. The Knicks shot 37% from the floor. Hey, Ramblin', where are you today? Houston, 7 of 22 from the floor. He's put up 3 or 4 stinkers in a row. Latrell Sprewell, 6 of 17 from the floor. There is nobody on this basketball team that you can count on in the fourth quarter, and I will include Allen Houston in that mix because Allen's had opportunities the last couple of weeks to win games with big shots, and even on nights where he put up some big point totals, he didn't get it done. So right now you got a Knick team that can't score with anybody in the fourth quarter, can't hold on to a double-digit lead any night of the week, and they are quickly becoming the embarrassment, along with the Rangers last night, of the NBA.
And add an insult to injury, because I was watching stuff upstairs. I didn't go downstairs to heat up the dish to watch the game on the New York broadcast because it was a nationally broadcast game. I had to listen to Barkley just rip the Knicks up and down, too. Which is, it's just an insult to injury, which...
But he's right, Jody.
I know Charles. I like Charles. He's a quasi-friend. He stick to the studio. And not because he's ripping the Knicks, just because He's not a play-by-play guy, or he's not a color analyst. Same with Ernie Johnson. He's not a play-by-play guy. Those guys do a real good job in the studio. I like the TNT, TBS studio show. I watch it a lot. You stay in studio. They're not play-by-play guys. They're not analysts. But any chance he had to rip the Knicks, Charles Barkley did it.
Oh, but he
just
can.
hates the organization.
Well, that's fine, but he can. And when he says, even at this stage where Barkley's about 60 pounds overweight's got bad back, bad knees, hasn't played competitive basketball for 2 years, whatever, how many years it's been already, he's probably right. He probably could come on the court right now and be as good as anybody on that team. It's sad, it's pathetic, but it's probably true.